Peace to the elite level thinkers. Now, I want you to look on the left hand side in a minute and watch for the appearance of a black shopping bag, and then please explain to me why. Was so serious that even things like newspapers were physically thrown. Watch as the newspaper falls down harmlessly, inches away from a man's protected foot. Now, on a serious notice, right? So I just showed you, didn't I? Very recently, shopping bag, right? Up in the air, up in the air. For what reason? For what reason? Well, I don't know if you saw this, but I made a video about this. Look. He was there when it all happened on the 26th of September, Trafalgar Square. You'll see him. And also, right, so we got here Skateboard Man, who I've made many videos about, who was actually pictured with bloody Jeremy Corbyn the other day. So don't underestimate these people's activity, the level of their activity, yeah? Because if you've got a gig where you're inches away from Jeremy Corbyn, mate, I would expect you to have been very much vetted, yeah? And who is by Skateboard Man when this Skateboard Man puts his shopping bag in the air like you just don't care? But our man Daz Kelly, who got back in touch yesterday after not replying to any comments for a couple of weeks. But the question still remains, Daz Kelly. Why were you pushed to the ground by your fellow protester? Why would he do that? Why did you take it as well? Why didn't you confront him? You're quick to confront the so-called police, aren't you? But when your own protester pushes you to the ground, you did nothing. You allowed it to happen. So yeah, we got many questions for you, Daz Kelly, and you invited me so politely to come to the protest and see what's what. Well, how about, like I said to you, you come on the panel and see what's what, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's free, it's very quick, and I ain't gonna get on some bloody train or plane just to come and meet you, bruv. You're not worth it. So if you want to talk to me, you can talk to me on our channel, you know, the channel that has nearly 5,000 subscribers and is growing every day, and you all are panicking, yeah, because you know that you've lost the war, yeah? So I'd love someone to explain to me why the guy with the black shopping bag and Skateboard Man, why they're doing this with the shopping bag. What is it about? Have you ever seen that before? If you saw someone do that in normal life, would you be like, what are you doing? But now he's doing it in front of the police. Hmm. Daz, how many? I can see at least 2, Daz. What about you? Daz, you said that you were gonna come on the panel, you were gonna defend yourself, and you were gonna defend the man with the cricket helmet. Yeah. So you're gonna defend someone you don't even know their name. Yeah. Well, I know his name. So why wouldn't you, Daz Kelly? That's a bit strange, that, isn't it? And if you haven't observed this picture before, it's from the Daily Mail, and I want you to notice what it says in the description. A man carrying an Asda bag. Why do they mention the brand? Are they advertising it? Am I watching some sick way of the companies rubbing your face in it? Think how many staged events have been right outside. And Mrs. Overkill, do you agree, right? A lot of these staged events are right outside, like big shops, like, yeah.
They keep doing
and they've got like advertising by, yeah, exactly.
Outside that bookshop all the time.
Exactly, at least 3 times. And people, people research with us, they said it's about the 3rd time they've done it at that bookshop. And you got to ask yourself, are they doing this on purpose? Is there some kind of sick deal going on in the background where they're making money with other companies by making sure the staged event is right there? It's like, I'll tell you what, it's like them doing a staged event outside of Burger King, and they know, Burger King would know that just by being in that thing they would get more people go, right, or order. Even online you can order these things now. So it could be some kind of sick double...
Coca-Cola.
What?
Often people have Coca-Cola bottles.
Well, we know they have Lucasade bottles, but I think that's for a different reason. It's bright orange, so it stands out. And I've shown you people who've got like 2 Lucasade bottles, 1 in each pocket, in the back pocket. I mean, for God's sake, man. Who does that? If you've got more than 1 bottle, yeah, oh, I've got an idea. Get a bloody backpack and put it in there. Don't walk around with a shopping bag, so then you're going to be part of some branded thing, like this old man here, who's definitely an actor, because he's been filmed by Resistance GB, Subject Access, Tyrant Thunder, Spectrum, Local. Come on, man. Oh, he was also with Pavlov as well. Bag, mate. If things like that don't make you realise what's going on. I mean, even you could find a person who is so different to we are right now, and you could say, right, look at this article. This man so-called got arrested by the police. Yeah, he's 92, right? They made a massive deal about it. They got loads of police around him. But look. In the description, it just says a man with a Asda Eco jute bag. Are you serious? Surely anyone reading that is thinking, well, why are they advertising Asda? Why Are they talking that it's an eco jute bag as well? Why so descriptive? And why they don't even bother to find out the guy's name? Whereas actually, if you research it, he's been doing this kind of thing for a long time, right? And it shouldn't surprise you that you'll get actors like this that are, you know, in their later stages of life. Because why? Because even politicians are actors, and they're around for decades and decades and decades. Think how long Tony Blair's been around, right? And you know that arsehole is going to be around a lot longer. So it shouldn't be a surprise to you that you can find like political infiltrators, crisis actors, controlled opposition, and at this age, right? Because they've been doing it for decades, so they're going to be good at it. You know, but what I don't comprehend is how, you know, you can betray your country and betray humanity day after day, year after year, decade after decade. I don't know how you can do it. I mean, normal people, we feel guilt when we've done something wrong. We feel guilt, and we feel it years after. But these people continue to do it over and over and over again. So on the right, you've got Pavlov, who is a confirmed actor. In the middle, you've got what I would say is a massive example of a actor who's been doing it for decades. And then on the left, you've got an actor, political infiltrator, probably undercover police, who makes out so his backstory is that he claims to be a conservative politician who got kicked out for making racist comments. He has a Union Jack in most of his sort of videos. He's even got GB in his name. His avatar is of the United Kingdom. All he pushes is, oh, look how patriotic I am. But then he walks around with a t-shirt depicting the Prophet Muhammad on it, which he knows would antagonise a massive part of the people of Great Britain. So, you know what I mean? I really don't want to be associated with that crowd. And none of the people who go to the protest, most of them are going to be things like Free Palestine, right? Because obviously you should be able to see that Israel is backed by a massive country in itself with America. They're powerful enough as it is, right? But they get aid from America. And Palestine doesn't have that sort of support, amongst other things. I'm not going to get into it because it should be obvious. But yeah. We exposed him so many times carrying that bloody shopping bag, right? And as you can see, it's more of an upmarket one. It's not like a Tesco one or a Poundland one that Grey Bleeder gets given, yeah, for obvious reasons. No, he got the upper class, luxury, gentleman's menswear shopping bag. The old tart. That's what you are, mate, to put it mildly. But yeah, we exposed him so much for having that shopping bag that he then rocked up to Speaker's Corner, but with a Tesco one instead. And I made a funny video about that. So yeah, I'm sure he liked that. But yeah, he goes on to Mark Windows. I know none of you would have heard of Mark Windows or Windows on the World because it's a nothing channel, even though he's been doing it for decades and has promoted most of the shills that are still in the truth movement. People like Piers Corbyn, Nick Colostrum, David Shaler, who I've got a video coming out. I just haven't released it yet, so we'll leave it till then. Worst costume. Look, I don't personally believe that you should be going to these marches in a costume for the simple fact, right? It's a very serious issue that you're going for. A costume is supposed to be for a party occasion. It's not the most serious occasion, right? For example, would you go to a funeral in a Grey Bleeder costume, in a Nazi costume, in a nurse's outfit? No, you wouldn't, because you need to be serious. So you'll surely want to be serious on a march where it's about life and death. Lockdown policies, if they're implemented forever now, which people are saying might happen, we can stop that. But yeah, nevertheless, then it can get dark, and I don't personally see that this man is helping the cause by wearing this. Please tell me if you disagree. Please tell me if you think he's doing a sterling job of representing us. Please tell me if you think I'm wrong. Yeah? Because I'll be honest with you, right? Let's say I did go to a protest. I wouldn't be seen with this man. I'd find it difficult not to say something to him in a polite way. Yeah. I've noticed he's got the England tattoo on the shoulder there. On the arm, sorry, yeah. That's interesting, isn't it? What if he's like actual either police or army, but obviously they want to discredit, so they just get some of them to dress up in these ridiculous costumes. It makes more sense to me than some average Joe dressing like that, to be honest with you. Here's a little invitation to Lawrence Fox, who appears very desperate to align himself to the anti-lockdown movement, but in aligning himself to people like Piers Corbyn and Tapman and Grey Bleeder, it really doesn't make you look very good. And I'm sure as an actor you do care about how you look and are represented. So an invitation to you to come on, because I'm sure you must be aware of this channel, because I've made videos about nearly every major person who actually goes to the protest. So yeah, here's an invitation. We're nearly at 5,000, so that should be enough to spur your interest. We're nearly at 5,000 subscribers. So the other day we got 140 in the chat, which is pretty impressive, I personally think. So yeah, warm invitation to Lawrence Fox to come on and have a discussion about how the anti-lockdown movement is going, but also about how that you're aligning yourself with people who are discreditors, police agitators, agent provocateurs, etc., etc. So peace to you, my friend. Now this is a very interesting photo, isn't it? Because now we can say that the guy on the right who chased the BBC reporter, who's actually gone to court over it, who Boris Johnson even got off his lazy ass to make a comment about, right? Well, look how close he is from the president of the world. I mean, Piers Corbyn, yeah? The Messiah, the hero, yeah? The one that Resistance GB said should be the King of England. Do you remember that? Well, look how close he is to the man who chased the BBC reporter. And not only that, Piers Corbyn is connected to people who literally incite violence against the police. So really, Mr. Piers Corbyn, you have no credibility. I'd ask you to come on the panel, but I think it'd be an absolute waste of time. I doubt you'd even know how to put the bloody computer on, judging by your office, mate. And again, the fist in the air, very like, well, you got your own take on that, but it's the fact that you're there with Gazer, who's dressed up as a clown. I mean, no words need to be heard. Simply, people will just see this image, and they'll think that you two represent us. And I'm sorry, like I said, I don't believe in wearing costumes to a serious march, which is literally about life and death. Really don't believe that. I'm afraid that if you get to be the president, it's because you've been elected, not selected. Also, it doesn't matter, you know, whether they're from this party or that party. The parties are exactly the same. So anyone now in 2021 who's still debating about left and right and calling me a lefty or saying there's no far right or whatever, blah blah blah, yeah, we need to think above that now. And when I say X, Y, and Z is far right, most of the time I'm also stipulating that the people concerned could be actors playing parts of far right. Because I'll be honest with you, most people don't give a damn either way. As long as you pay them, they'll say whatever you bloody want them to say. Because what they are is mercenaries, yeah? And a mercenary doesn't care who he represents. He doesn't care if he even fights against the interests of his own country. As long as he gets the dollar, as long as he gets the pound, the euro, whatever it is, the Bitcoin, yeah, they will do it. Now this man was on stage, wasn't he, on the weekend, right? The one who gets invited to Israel Parliament. I forgot what I was going to say now, because you know, the audacity of of having to find that out. It's just blown my head, really. Yeah, no, I've remembered, right. So he actually mentioned the fact that he was a Christian on stage. They also did the Lord's Prayer, didn't they? Now, I don't have a problem with any of that. But what I'm saying is, it's very funny, the timing of it all, how they're all not pretending, how they're all claiming to be like that now. Well, let's see if your actions actually, match up with that as well. Yeah? There's other people who I'm not going to mention that we've seen in videos all of a sudden start talking about, how they follow Jesus, etc. Okay, so all I'm going to say, just be very wary of that, because as we know from George Bush, they will say anything to get what they want. So George Bush would say things like, well, we're fighting this war because we're on the side of God. Yeah? And then somehow it gives justification for superpowers to fly bomber planes up in the sky and from thousands of feet above with no remorse just drop bombs, and where the bombs fall, they fall regardless of the casualties. Whether they say, don't they, that for every sort of terrorist that they kill, at least another 12 people die. I'd say it's more than that. They always underplay things and overplay things where they need to, yeah? That sign appeared quite a long time ago now in the scheme of things. And what I'll say is, we destroyed them, right? We've exposed operations that must have cost hundreds and thousands of pounds all in all, and we've done that. Yeah. So that's a battle that we've won already, man. Trust me on that. So that doesn't concern me. We make videos about, and not just some nobodies, yeah, that you see for half a second and then never see them again. No. These are people who have been used for years now. Any kind of dodgy event, they've been there, right? And look, they are playing prominent parts of this event here. They're holding the banners. They're the ones that the Getty images and all these are taking images of, yeah? So these people are prominent parts of it, and this is very recent, okay? So what we're doing is actual counter propaganda. So this is very important. So if you can support this channel in any way and make sure that we can keep going and get better at what we're doing, then please do so, because obviously we are up against, and I say it's mainly me, and we got a team of researchers, okay, but we have got a massive job, but we're winning it, but we just need more support. So think about any ways you can do it. I always leave a description with ways that you can help, so just think about that, because like I said, we're changing history, and now you can be part of that history, or you can just be a passenger. But I know what I'd rather be. I'd rather be an active part of actually winning this battle. And we don't have to fire any bullets. We don't have to strike any punches. We don't have to incite violence like Great Bleeder or Tapman. We don't have to have defund the agendas like Piers Corbyn. We don't have to be agent provocateurs like Haiku Ku. We don't have to be people in the crowd who start little conflicts like Daz Kelly. We don't have to go in stupid costumes like Cricket Man. There's many ways that we can win, and we nearly already have won this war, okay? So... And I think articles like this prove everything that is said by this channel, okay? They just sum it up totally well, and they bring you to the realization that this is actually a real thing that is happening, okay? So forget that it's in America, because obviously what America does, we do here as well. So Crowd on Demand is an American publicity firm that provides clients with what? Hired actors to pose as what? Fans. So it could be Tommy Robinson fan, couldn't it? Paparazzi. So that could be all the filmers that go there, yeah? They could be hired on a consistent basis to be the filmers, right? Security guards. Well, is that who James Zikic is? Is James Zikic really a bodyguard, or is he hired by companies? Is he from a company where you can hire them to pretend to be your bodyguard? Is he really David Icke's bodyguard, or was he pretending to be? Is he really Hatoon's bodyguard, or is he pretending to be? Yeah? So you can get everything. You could get actors to pose as cops. You could get actors to pose as journalists. You could get actors to pose as security guards and the protesters themselves. Now this is brilliant as well, right? The role of crowd members is carefully calibrated. Recruits are generally actors who are expected to be enthusiastic. Critically, they must look and sound authentic. They must always hold signs and chant, yep, and sometimes talk to media on behalf of the event. Now I'm sure you can think of about 20 examples of the people that you see carrying the banners, talking to the media and doing chants. Doesn't that sum up people like Mrs. Tatman, like Handlebar Moustache, people that you see with the same signs like Jeff Wyatt? Doesn't that sum them all up? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. In pound sterling, so you know that it can happen here. So it says here, crowd actors will be paid £40 an hour, as well as travel expenses, with the potential to earn up to £300 a day. So think about it. When at the peak stage of the protest, sometimes they were having like 2-3 protests a week. Yeah. So that easily starts to rack up, doesn't it? Yeah. For deceiving your country. Yeah. So the ideal candidate will be confident talking to strangers. Yeah. Comfortable in busy environments. Yeah. Oh, and previous experience in acting isn't required. Well, that explains why some of them are so shit, doesn't it? Yeah, excuse my language. That explains it, because they don't even need you to have experience in being an actor. Because why? Because they want it to be more authentic. Yeah. But that's the problem. Some of these people overact, like Resistance GB overacts, Skateboard Man overacts, Spectrum overacts, yeah? They overact and they expose themselves, because we know that we wouldn't behave like that in such circumstances. Like Skateboard Man, I'll do an impression of you. Like, basically, you're there where this supposed like young girl gets arrested, right? And she's like crying, and you're like, oh, just leave her alone. Come on, she's a kid. like you know, she walked across a bit of grass, and you know what I mean. Come on, man. And then look at this, right? So when you know how sometimes you see like these really stupid protests, like small, really like obscure, weird looking protests. Well, you could just literally hire a crowd to do a PR stunt. So you could make them protest for anything, like more carrots in a Cornish pasty, yeah? And you could have like a whole bunch of them, and with their own chants about, you know, the benefits of extra carrot in your Cornish pasty, yeah? So literally, there is a demand for these people to pretend to be a protester, and it doesn't matter what it is. It could be Brexit, it could be Tommy Robinson, it could be anti-lockdown. It doesn't matter. There are people that you can hire to do that, and some of them have been hired for decades. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Right, so that was 29 minutes. We started off talking about shopping bags, and then we got on to proof that you can literally hire a whole crowd of protesters. So do not believe these events that you see to do with the protest, right? This goes out to anyone who's just come here. When you go to a protest, when you watch a protest and you see events like people getting bitten, like someone spitting, you've got to realise that that is staged. And why you know that is because what they're trying to do is make us look bad and discredit us. So then we can't get many people on our side. Do you not get it? And it's very, very clever. Although we've exposed it, it's clever because it's reverse psychology, yeah? So what you've got is you've got people like Piers Corbyn, who's connected to Tapman and Grey Bleeder, and what they're doing is they're the official, you know, anti-jabbers. They represent the anti-jabbers, or I don't even want to call it anti-jabbers. I'd just rather say pro-choice. Yeah, choice of whether you have one or not. Everyone's free to do what they want. You know, some people drink loads and loads every day and almost kill themselves. That's their choice. It's very sad, but we're all responsible for what we do with our bodies, and I'm not going to get into too much of that. But so you've got Piers Corbyn here, as you can see, and he's got Grey Bleeder, the guy in red, and the guy with the fake blood as his right hand men. That's who they want to represent you. So what they're trying to do is make sure that our popularity doesn't increase. So they employ these agents to discredit us so that we can't get as many people as we want. Okay? And it's very sad and it's very dark, that premise. But what you've got to realise is you just need to tell more people. You need to tell more people, right? So find little bits of my videos that resonate with you, that make sense to you, that you can convey to other people. And we need to start convincing other people that what they're seeing is not real. We cannot be represented by people who spit, by people who pretend to bite each other, by people who throw glass bottles at anyone. Yeah? We cannot be represented by that. So it's up to us to share this channel as much as we can, get as many people here that are good-minded, and then we can see what happens. But as it is, the fake shills, all the ones on this picture here, they have too much power over what goes on at the protest. Now that should never happen, because there's only a few of them compared to the thousands upon thousands and even millions potentially of you. You've got to remember that. You've got to remember how powerful this channel is. So like I said, support it any way that you possibly can. Alright? Take care for now. Where there's darkness we shine our light the brightest. Peace.